Good morning, sir.
Good morning to all of you, sir. Today, we have to do minimum 20 questions, sir. I want you to complete 20 questions. That is our target. Can we do
Okay.
it, sir?
Yes, sir, we can.
Let
Good
me
morning,
see.
sir.
Very good morning. Should we wait for public to join?
Yes, sir.
In the meanwhile,
Okay, sir.
I will discuss something which you want. Do you know what is haloform test? I have compounds A, B, C, D. In this, which one can give positive haloform test? That is one question. The same question can be asked like, when added iodine and NaOH, how many gives yellow precipitate? The yellow precipitate is haloform, iodoform. More than one option is correct.
Sir, for first one, A and B, sir.
A and B.
B.
Perfect. This and this will not give. Now, for haloform test, the compound should have minimum 2 or more carbons. So this are satisfying. Now, the compound should be alcohol or aldehyde or ketone. It is not satisfying because it is a carboxylic acid. Carboxylic acids would not give haloform test. So this are satisfying. Next, it should have 3 alpha hydrogens. 3 alpha hydrogens means the functional group carbon. Next carbon is alpha carbon. It has 3 alpha hydrogens on both sides. It is very good. It has a functional group carbon, 3 alpha hydrogens, very good. It is the functional group carbon. Next carbon has only 2 alpha hydrogens. So answer is A. Are we very clear, sir?
Very clear.
Now, if I have auntie, boy, chutney, donkey. How many of these can give positive haloform test? Three phenyl propanol, 1 phenyl propanol, 3 phenyl propanol,
Option B, sir.
phenyl propyl ether. Answer option
Option B.
B
No, not
can
B,
give.
sir.
B can give haloform test. A cannot give because it has only 2 alpha hydrogens. It is not an alcohol or aldehyde or ketone. It is, of course, alcohol, but only 2 alpha hydrogens. So answer is only B.
B, sir.
Okay. Next point. I have a compound like here I am not able to draw a double bond. Okay, I will draw like this. Okay. Now, what is the name of this reaction? Riemann-Tiemann reaction, Kolb reaction, Beckmann rearrangement, Friese rearrangement. What is the name of this reaction? In this reaction, a phenolic ester converted itself into ketophenol. What is the name of this reaction, sir? Riemann-Tiemann reaction, Kolbe reaction, Beckmann rearrangement, Friese rearrangement. What is your answer, sir?
Option D.
D for a donkey. Perfect.
So how will be option C, sir? Once can you explain?
Excuse me,
Sir,
sir.
please explain that
Option
option C and D.
If I have a compound like this is called a phenolic ester. It is made by the reaction of phenol with acid derivative, maybe acid chloride, or maybe acid anhydride. X can be Cl, X can be even an H2, X can be CH3COO. If X is equal to OH, it is called acetic acid. Acetic acid is very, very slow to react. Acetyl chloride, if X is equal to Cl, reaction is very fast. If X is NH2, well, the reaction happens in presence of a base. If X is equal to CH3COO minus, it is called acid anhydride, reaction smoothly happens. If X is equal to OH, simply it is acetic acid, reaction will be slow, and this reaction happens in presence of a concentrated sulfuric acid, acid catalyzed esterification, or it can happen in presence of a base catalyzed esterification. In esterification reaction, alcohol and the carboxylic acid derivative, they combine together. The H of alcohol or phenol and the X of the acid derivative will be removed as HX. So the O will bind to COR. So it is called a phenolic ester. When phenolic esters are heated in presence of AlCl3, the hydrogen in ortho position or para position will be removed as H plus, and that H plus will combine with the O part of phenol and the CH3CO, which is getting plus charge because the oxygen is taking the pi electrons. So the hydride will join. Let me write down the reaction, sir. In a phenolic ester, which is like this, what happens is oxygen will take away the pi electrons, so it gets plus charge. When it gets plus charge, this oxygen doesn't want to give electrons. Why this oxygen doesn't want to give electrons? Oxygen is more electronegative, right? Now, the hydrogen which is there in alpha position or the hydrogen which is there in para position will shift itself there. When it shifts, you get a situation like this is a kind of rearrangement called Friese rearrangement. In the freeze rearrangement, a phenolic ester will become a ketonic phenol. I want to present you the detailed pathway of the reaction if you are ready. Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This is the reaction mechanism in detail. Actually, I'm a bit scared of to talk about this because the mechanism. Hello,
Disturbance is there.
who is this? Okay, sir. Okay. Penacol, that is freeze rearrangement. I just will quickly show you freeze rearrangement.
Yeah.
Do you remember yesterday we talked about penacol rearrangement?
Yes.
Yes.
No. No, sir.
Hey, yesterday penacol rearrangement we talked. You want me to talk about that again?
Yes, yes.
Okay, we will talk about that again. But we have less time. We have to do 20 questions, mind you. But anyway, I will show you these ones. It's not coming.
क्या डकारा मार रहे सर तुम ये?
Excuse me, sir. Can you ask in English? If you speak in Urdu, I can't follow you, sir. And I'm looking at the best possible presentation on freeze rearrangement.
Sir, there are two people who don't should not be in the class, sir.
अरे कौन है रे तू?
Oh, nobody.
रे गांड साले. मादर चोद साला.
Jalada.
The problem is, okay. Okay. So, okay. What I was doing. Notice that this is called freeze rearrangement. I mean, this is not going out. Okay. Look at that. This compound is called as the phenolic ester. When phenolic ester is heated in presence of a Lewis acid or any traditional acid, it will rearrange itself to give a ketonic phenol. In this reaction, you will notice that this Lewis acid is playing an important role. The Lewis acid is taking pi electrons from the ester group, and that is the villain that makes the rearrangement possible. Here, really, we don't have time to go to the details because it takes 10 minutes for me. Mechanism is out of scope for IIT mains and also for advanced. So I am not talking about the mechanism because of the time constraint. Don't take me otherwise. Whenever I say freeze rearrangement, you should immediately think that it is a rearrangement of a phenolic ester to give the corresponding ketone. Only that much phenolic ketone. Only that much. Not more than that. Because of the time constraint, we are not able to do. I'm a bit scared of. Sir, yesterday I was talking to you about a reaction like this. This is a compound called as. Can you name this compound, sir? This compound is called 1-phenyl. Sorry, I will count from this end. It is 2-phenyl but-2,3-diol. In this compound, when I treat in presence of an acid, H3O plus, urgently one of the OH groups will be protonated, and this fellow will become, after protonation, OH2 plus. The OH2 plus will be going out as water, generating a ketone. So this ketone, this will be a carbocation like this. How you got a carbocation like this? Because once upon a time there was OH, that OH was protonated by our acid. Once the OH became OH2, oxygen dislikes positive charge. Therefore, oxygen has taken away the OH group and the bonding electron. Or what happens in the course of this reaction, water molecule is lost. When water molecule is lost, what happens, sir? Carbocation is produced. Are we clear? Yes, sir. Now I have to make some settings in the meetings because of the time constraint we have and because of the current situation. Yeah, lunch and channel. Okay, sir. Now I have closed the chart option and now I think we have really a lot of urgent work to take care of. And okay, it takes a little bit time, never mind. Actually, it happens sometimes. Okay. Okay, I have closed the chart option and now, I was talking to you pen-call-pen-clone rearrangement. If I have a compound like this is called a butydiol. In the butydiol, when I use an acid, the OH will be protonated and this OH will take the proton to become this. And because this gets positive charge, it will be lost as water. So this site will be carbocation. Here you get a carbocation. This carbocation will allow the methyl group of the neighboring carbon to shift. When the methyl group shifts here, you will be getting a methyl group over there. This will go and you get a methyl group. Now this became a carbocation. Now the carbon which has OH group becomes carbocation means there is an advantage. What happens is this OH group will lose this H plus and this will become a double bond. So at the end of the reaction, you are getting this. What you are getting is this. CH3 here, O double bond, O, positive charge. So at the end of the day, a compound which you are calling as 1,2-diol became a ketone. This type of rearrangement is called pencal, pencolone rearrangement. Okay. Now, actually, we are going to our business. As many as I require have joined. Now we are going to our business. Sir, our target is to do 20 questions right from now. The moment we complete the 20 questions, well, you are free to go. Okay, sir. So let us look at these questions. Question number 18. Which of the following is not the product of the dehydration of this given compound? Sir, when this given compound is undergoing dehydration, this OH group, let us take ready. This OH group will go with any of the neighboring carbons hydrogen. This carbon hydrogen, and if the OH are going, you get a double bond here. If this carbon hydrogen and if the OH are going as water, you get a double bond here. If this OH and this carbon H will go out as water, you get a double bond here. So you can get double bonds in 3 positions after the loss of water. So these are the likely products. So can you see now which of the following cannot be a product? See, option number A is a possibility. B is another possibility. C is third possibility, but D is not possibility. Can you see that, sir? Hello? This question appeared in IIT Mains 2015. Anybody having objection? I repeat, whenever you take any alcohol, if you heat it with the concentrated sulfuric acid, the OH group and the neighboring alpha carbons hydrogen will be lost as water. That generates a double bond. So the double bond can come in 3 possible positions. There is no possibility of rearrangement here because you are getting a tertiary carbocation. Tertiary carbocation is very stable and there is no point in it getting any type of rearrangement. So question number 19. Question number 19 appeared in 2015. Re means in 2015, IIT G paper got leaked out. Therefore, they were have to conduct the exam again. So it was the re-exam. Nowadays, it became online. So they are conducting some 10 tests. Anyway, reaction of phenol with chloroform in presence of diluted sodium hydroxide finally introduces which one of the following functional groups? Whenever you are reacting chloroform and a base, chloroform first will become CCl3. The CCl3 minus will lose another Cl minus to give CCl2. The CCl2 is called a dichlorocarbene. The dichlorocarbene is electron deficient. So it is an electrophile. The CCl2 attacks on ortho or para positions of phenol. Ultimately, that changes to aldehyde. Therefore, this reaction, which we call as Reamer-Tiemann reaction, is introducing a aldehyde group onto benzene. At the end of the day, your phenol will become salicylaldehyde. Are we clear about that, sir? Hello. What happened to my meeting? It got disturbed in between. Hello. Hello. Hello, are you there? So, for the answer to the question number 19, reaction of phenol with chloroform in presence of diluted sodium hydroxide finally introduces the CHO aldehyde group to benzene. So instead of taking chloroform, if you take CCl4 carbon tetrachloride, then you are introducing COOH group. So for chloroform, answer is B. Instead of chloroform, if you take CCl4, answer will be D. Are we very clear, sir? Therefore, question number 20. In question number 20, you are reacting a alcohol with the sodium or sodium hydride, alcohol becomes sodium alkoxide. When the sodium alkoxide reacts with methyl iodide, alkyl halide reacting with sodium alkoxide, this is a Williamson synthesis, you are getting a ether. At the end of the day in this reaction, a particular alkyl halide is reacting with a particular sodium salt of an alcohol. The alcohol here is, of course, the cyclopentyl alcohol, which became sodium cyclopentanoate. Because of that, it looks a bit strange, but fundamentally it is a reaction between RX and RONA to give you ether. Hence, it is Williamson's ether synthesis. as acetal. What is the name of it, sir? Acetal. Acetal is a compound which has two ether groups linked to the same carbon. Acetal. Sir, acetals have OR linked to the same carbon. Something like this. If two OR groups are linked to the same carbon, it is called acetal. If a carbon is linked to one OH group and one OR group, then this is called as the hemiacetal. The hemiacetals are formed because of the reaction of aldehyde with diol. The acetals are formed because of the reaction between ketone and diol. Sir, this is a diol. This diol, if it is linked to a aldehyde, this hydrogen, this oxygen will be lost as water, and then what you will get is like this. Okay, sir? So, if it is a ketone, then this hydrogen will not be there. There will be alkyl. This type of compounds are called as acetals. Only cis diols can give acetals on reaction with ketones. If the two OH groups are on opposite side, then that cannot give acetal on reaction with ketone. I repeat, there are two types of diols in cyclic systems. In unsaturated systems, if there is a C double bond C, or if there is a ring, when the two carbons are linked to two OH groups, you have two possibilities, cis or trans. Only cis diols, even if there is a double bond, cis or trans. So the cis diols, where two OH groups are on the same side, they can react with ketones and lose water to give acetals. That reaction is useful to identify cis diols. If it is a simple carbon chain, if it is a simple ethane 1,2-diol, if it is a simple propane 1,2-diol, there is no possibility of cis-trans isomerism. Both OH can be there on the same side. So there is no issue with them. The issue comes only if it is a cyclic system. Therefore, the topic is whenever there is a cis-diol, it can react with ketone to give you acetals. So if you look at this question, let's look at this question. Which of the following reagents would distinguish a cis-cyclopenta 1,2-diol from trans 1,2-pentadiol isomer? Acetone can identify these two because only acetone can give acetal with the cis diols, not with the trans diols. This discussion is there in another chapter. In the topic called ketones, it is there. So this is not out of portion. The heating of phenyl methyl ethers with HI produce. Can you guess what is the answer, sir? Whenever a phenyl methyl ether is heated with HI, the CO bond of phenol cannot be broken. Therefore, you get phenoxide ion, which takes H plus to give phenol. And methyl group will take the iodine to give methyl iodide. It will not break in any other way. Please notice, in phenyl methyl ether, as a rule, you get phenol. In all phenyl ethers, the CO bond of benzene and the oxygen cannot be broken easily. Therefore, always it goes out as phenoxide ion that takes H plus to give phenol. Therefore, for 22nd question, when phenyl methyl ether is treated with HI, I am getting phenol and methyl iodide, not other way around. I gave you one important rule. in a ether, if there are two different alkyl groups, always iodine goes with simple alkyl group. For example, if you have methyl butyl ether, when that is treated with HI, you will get methyl iodide and butanol. Whenever a ether has one simple carbon chain and one a big carbon chain, always simple carbon chain takes iodine. General rule. This rule is violated when there is a tertiary alkyl group. As a rule, tertiary alkyl group, if it is present, that takes the I minus. In all other cases, simple alkyl group takes I minus. Please notice, when a ether reacts with HI, ether will break down to give alcohol and alkyl iodide. In ether, there are two alkyl groups. The simple alkyl group will take iodine. The big alkyl group will take oxygen and hydrogen to become alcohol. This rule is not followed if there is a tertiary alkyl group. The tertiary alkyl group, if present, that will take iodine preferably. Second rule, in phenolic ethers, always phenyl group goes with oxygen and become phenol. The other part will become iodide. Therefore, when phenyl methyl ether is treated with HI, I get phenol and methyl iodide. That's very clear. Okay, sir? Question number 23. Which one of the following is most acidic compound? Needless to say, more electron withdrawing groups makes C most acidic, which is called picric acid. Question number 24. This is a very strange reaction, sir. Generally, the halogen that is directly linked to benzene cannot be removed. However, if you are heating with NaNH2, something very strange will happen. That is called benzyne mechanism. NaNH2 is a very strong base, a million times strong base than NaOH. Sir, what is a base? A base is one which wants to take away H+. So when you take NaNH2, a very strong base, react with this type of compound, it is called as metabromoanisole. Between the bromo group and OCH3 group, this carbon has a hydrogen. That hydrogen is eaten away by NH2 minus, and therefore you will be getting a carbon ion. This carbon ion will make a triple bond, and Br minus will get out. That strange situation I want to present like this. Kindly observe, it is there only for advance, but nevertheless I will talk. It's only there for advance. It is called benzyne mechanism. Hello? Hello? Excuse me, sir? I am not having any book, sir. It is a photo I have taken from a book called, I don't know, Sarvagnya Group. This is a private. I can't send this book, sir, because I don't have this book. This page, okay, let me discuss the questions. I am discussing them now in the class. Then why are you calling and you are not able to follow? Who muted you? I have not muted you. If I open means somebody is talking and causing disturbance, no? Okay, now I will unmute you. Okay. The problem is some student is creating nuisance, so I have muted all. Wait. Hello. If you want, you can unmute yourself. Okay. Hello.
Okay, sir.
The problem is some students started creating nuisance, so I have muted all of you. Now I think that fellow has gone.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I'm so pleased. Sir, the point is, if you have a phenyl ether, sir, if you are reacting it with the HI, no, actually somebody should take H plus, somebody should take I minus. Always this phenyl group takes oxygen and H plus because this bond cannot be broken. Therefore, whenever a phenyl ether reacts with HI, you get phenol as one of the product. The other fellow will take iodine. That is the rule. Second rule is, whenever you have any ether, one side there is a simple carbon chain, the other side there is a very long carbon chain. You are reacting it with a HI. Now the rule is iodine always goes with a simple alkyl. So you get ethyl iodide. And the other fellow, 1, 2, 3, 4, that will take the OH. So this is a general rule. Whenever a ether has two different alkyl groups, simple alkyl group will take iodine. However, there is one exception. If one side you have a tertiary butyl group, the tertiary butyl group preferably takes iodine. Because, hello? Hello? Tell me. I muted? Now somebody is talking, no? Somebody said yes. Ask all to unmute, I pressed. Somebody started writing also. I don't know. Now somebody is talking, no? Hello, can you speak to me? Some Abdullah is telling that he can't unmute. What is this? Ask all to unmute, I said. Okay.
Sir, we are unmuting, but if once we off
Sir,
the mic, it is showing again, we can't unmute.
Once it is?
Sir, now you asking all to unmute, no, sir. Once we open the mic, again, if we close our mic, then we are unable to open the mic again.
Now you don't bother to open your mic. Now let us see. Actually, are you following or not? Whatever I am speaking.
Yes, sir, following.
No, sir, please kindly cooperate, sir. We have to do 20 questions. I have taken it as a prestige issue. So
Yes.
I am repeating the same thing again and again because of this time constraint. So let us see. I was talking to you about reaction of ethers. Reaction of ethers with HI is called a Jaisal method. The Jaisal method is actually converting ether into alkyl halides. Sir, if you have this ether, when you react with HI, only 1 mole, you get a methyl iodide and a propanol. The general rule is when 1 mole of HI reacts, the simple alkyl group will take iodine. The bigger alkyl group will become alcohol. However, if you take excess of HI, both fellows will become alkyl iodides. So it all depends on how many moles of HI you are reacting. Second point, if you have a tertiary alkyl group in ether, the exceptional behavior is tertiary alkyl group will take iodine. So our rule is in ethers, normally simple alkyl group will take iodine, bigger alkyl group will become alcohol. Exception, if there is a tertiary alkyl group that takes iodine. Also, if there is a phenyl group CO bond cannot be broken. Therefore, phenyl group will always become phenol. Other part will become iodide. If HI is taken excess, nevertheless, everybody will become iodides. Now, I completed this point. Now, I want to see next question. Our next question. Somebody wants me to share this book. This book I don't have. This is in Gulbarga. Somebody has given me these questions and asked me doubts, so I discussed them with them. Because this is a collection of old questions. You can get these questions anywhere. These are your IITG previous questions. Identify A and predict the type of reaction. This type of reaction of an ether which has 3 bromo derivative on an NaH2 is called benzyne mechanism. What is that called, sir? Benzyne mechanism. In benzene mechanism, something strange will happen. The Br which is there in meta position will be replaced by NH2 group. So this type of substitution is called sign substitution. You will be getting meta-amino anisole. How this reaction happens, I will be discussing, but that is needed only for advance. You can remember that this is the only reaction where the halogen that is directly linked to benzene is broken and replaced by NH2. It is a very special reaction called benzene mechanism. What is that, sir? Benzene mechanism. How this reaction happens, I will come back if I have time. Simply, I would say NaNH2 is a good base. The NH2 minus will take H plus, which is there on the central carbon. So the carbon ion forms. The minus charge will make a triple bond, throwing the Br minus out. So you will have a benzene with a triple bond in one position. That is called benzene. That benzene is unstable. That will rearrange it to give back the product like D. So the product is 3-amino anisole. The reaction is called a sign substitution. This I will talk only for advance. But you should remember fundamental reaction because they asked once in IIT mains 2017. So this is a reaction of phenolic ethers. Now, can you look at in the reaction, phenol reacts with chloroform and NaOH to give sodium salt of salicylaldehyde. What is the electrophile involved in this reaction, sir? Sir, what is the electrophile involved in the reaction, sir? Can you identify? It is a Raymer-Tiemann reaction. The electrophile involved in the reaction is dichlorocarbene, CCl2. It is a very, very important mechanism. In presence of NaOH, CHCl3 will lose HCl, it will become CCl2. The CCl2 is electron deficient. It is an electrophile. It attacks in ortho or para positions. Ultimately, that becomes CHO aldehyde. So the reaction 25, intermediate, the reaction electrophile is CCl2. It is not intermediate, it is electrophile. Look at the textbook. They gave the intermediate in square bracket where they wrote benzene on the side CHCl2. Please look at the textbook. Whatever they kept in square bracket is intermediate. CCl2 is an electrophile. Look at question number 26. Let us see whether we can answer this. C8H10O is found to react with NaOI. Sir, NaOI means mixture of NaOH and iodine, haloform reaction. Whenever they are saying somebody is reacting with NaOI, immediately think that it is NaOH plus I2, immediately think that is a haloform reaction. So that yields a yellow precipitate means you are getting CHI3. So which will give this test? Can you identify? Can A give the haloform test, sir? Hello? Hello? A cannot give a haloform test because it does not have 3 alpha hydrogens. Are we clear? Let us go to next slide. Can it be B, sir? Hello? It cannot be B because though the B is an alcohol, it does not have 3 alpha hydrogens. Can it be C, sir? Yes. It should be C because it has 3 alpha hydrogens, it is an alcohol. Therefore, definitely this compound can be 1-phenyl, 1-ethanol, and that can give iodoform test. Notice that D also cannot give iodoform test. This is a very, very important question, sir. Same question in different shades asked 3-4 times in IIT mains. May I repeat it or no need to repeat? Can anybody speak? Sir, should I repeat it or no need to repeat it? Hello? So summary is that whenever you are reacting iodine and NaOH, you get NaOI. Anybody who reacts with NaOI to give yellow crystalline precipitate is set to undergo iodoform test. Iodoform test is given by alcohols, aldehydes, ketones, which have 2 or more carbons and 3 alpha hydrogens. That condition is satisfied in the case of B here. In the case of C here, C will give this test. That's very important. Question number 27. Sir, the compound A on treatment with sodium gives B. With PCl5 it gives C. B and C react together to give diethyl ether. A, B, C are stupidest question. They asked 10 times in IIT Mains. Last year also in online tests, I think this appeared 4 or 5 times. What is the answer, sir? Hello? What is the answer, sir? Hello? Sir, somebody who reacts with sodium to give hydrogen must be alcohol. Somebody who reacts with PCl5 must be alcohol, and that gives alkyl halide. Alkyl halide and sodium alkoxide would together give ether. Answer must be D for donkey. C2H5OH reacts with sodium to give C2H5ONA. C2H5OH reacts with PCl5 to give C2H5Cl. Sodium ethoxide and sodium ethyl chloride together can give diethyl ether. That is Williamson synthesis. So for 27 question, answer is clearly D for donkey. Any doubt, sir? Hello? Now let us go to AIMS questions on the same topic. What questions appeared in all India Institute of Medical Science tests? Earlier it was there. So what is glycerin? Glycerin is propan 1,2,3 triol. In glycerin, whose name is propane 1,2,3 triol, the first and third carbons are primary carbons because they are linked to only one carbon. The second carbon is a secondary carbon. So it has 2 primary alcohol groups and 1 secondary alcohol group. So what is the answer, sir? Clearly, glycerin has 1 secondary, 2 primary OH groups. Now, which of the following are isomers? Can you identify the answer, sir? Oh. Can you identify the answer, sir? Oh. Nobody is responding. Hello? Sir, the alcohols and ethers have same formula. If they have same number of carbons and if they have same formula, they are isomers. Ethyl alcohol has a formula C2H6O. Dimethyl ether also has a formula C2H6O. But ethyl alcohol is CH3CH2OH. Dimethyl ether is CH3OCH3. Both are functional isomers. To distinguish these two compounds, we add Na metal. Only alcohol gives hydrogen gas with sodium metal, ether cannot. So answer for 29th question is B for Bombay. What is wood spirit? Wood spirit is methanol. Methyl alcohol is called wood spirit that is used to make varnishes. Coconut oil upon alkaline hydrolysis gives. Coconut oil is an ester of glycerin. It is an ester of fatty acid and glycerin, triglyceride. When that undergo alkaline hydrolysis, you get the glycerol and sodium salt of fatty acids. That is called saponification reaction. From the spent lye, you can separate glycerol. Glycerol is used as a moisturizer and many uses. Glycerol is propane 1,2,3 triol. Question number 32. Can you read the question number 32, sir? An organic compound A reacts with sodium metal and forms B. On heating with concentrated sulfuric acid, A gives diethyl ether. Obviously, A must be ethanol, B must be sodium ethoxide. This question appears to be silly. So let us go to, say, question number 35. What is Lucas test is used for? Lucas test is used to identify primary, secondary, tertiary alcohols. Lucas reagent is a paste of zinc chloride and HCl. Only tertiary alcohol reacts immediately at room temperature to give cloudiness. Secondary alcohol reacts in 5 to 10 minutes to give cloudiness. Primary alcohol do not react at room temperature. Do we remember, sir? Lucas reagent is a paste of ZnCl and HCl. Hello? Sir, Lucas reagent can replace OH group with Cl. The OH group which can be easily replaced belongs to tertiary alcohol. Question number 36. When phenol reacts with ammonia in presence of ZnCl2, what you get, sir? It is a reaction that gives primary. Don't worry about that. Now let us go to question number, say 40. On boiling with concentrated hydrobromic acid, phenyl ether will give what, sir? Can you guess? Instead of HI, you are using HBr. Phenyl ethyl ether. What are the products, sir? Hello. Sir, whenever you are reacting with HX, any phenyl alkyl ether, phenyl part will keep the O and it will become phenol. The other alkyl part will take halide ion. Reason? The carbon-oxygen bond in phenoxy group is very, very strong. Therefore, the phenyl ethyl ether, when reacts with HBr, gives phenol along with ethyl bromide as other product. This is always the rule. So answer to question number 40 must be anti. Which is used as an antifreeze. Antifreeze means in cold countries, the water in winters become ice and gets accumulated on the roads. When the roads are fully covered with the snow, you can't have the traffic. So they've spilled the ethylene glycol and glycerine, etc. The glycol preferably lowers the melting point of ice, so it converts the ice into water. Road gets clear. So a preferred antifreeze is what, sir? Glycol. You don't use ethyl alcohol because ethyl alcohol can also do this purpose, but ethyl alcohol is costlier and tastier for many people. Therefore, preferred antifreeze is glycol. Even glycerine you can use, but that is also costlier. Propane 1 mole. Have you noticed in the last E in the propene is dropped? Propan 1 mole. If there is only one OH group, the last E in the alkane is dropped. It will be propan 1 mole. If there are two OH groups, it will be propane. Last E you put propane 1,2-diol. While naming diols, last E of alkane is retained in IUPAC system. When talking of simple alcohols, last E in the alkane is dropped in the IUPAC. So anyway, it is propan 1 mole. Can be prepared from propene by what, sir? How can you convert propene into propan 1 mole? Option C, that is hydroboration oxidation, anti-Markovnikov reaction. Now, because of resonance, the oxygen atom of OH group of phenol. What happens to OC bond in phenol? Due to resonance, the OC bond in phenol gets double bond nature. Because it gets double bond nature, the bond becomes very strong. When oxygen is donating its lone pair to carbon, oxygen is getting positive charge, carbon is getting minus charge. Have you seen that resonance, or should I show you now? Hello? I am showing you to be on safe side. Sir, this is your phenol. Let me use black color. The oxygen has two lone pairs. Can you see it, sir? Now what happens is the pi electrons are taken by this carbon and it gets minus charge. This carbon, which is losing pi bond, will take away the lone pair. So due to resonance, next form is like this. Here you got a double bond. This carbon got minus charge. And the oxygen, because it has donated its lone pair, unfortunately gets plus charge. Due to resonance, the carbon of the benzene in phenol gets minus charge and the oxygen gets plus charge. Again, if it goes here, if it comes here, this carbon gets minus charge and the carbon oxygen continues to have positive charge. If the minus charge comes here, if the pi bond goes over there, in this canonical form also, oxygen continues to have positive charge, but this carbon gets minus charge. Finally, it comes here, it goes there. So you get a last canonical form where oxygen gets back its two lone pairs and the position of double bonds changes. Due to resonance, there are how many canonical forms in phenol? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In these canonical forms, in 3 forms, you can see a double bond between C and O. Therefore, it is difficult to break CO bond of phenol, and most of the time, oxygen in phenol gets plus charge. So, what is the answer to that question, sir? Please look at the question. What is the answer to this question? Because of resonance, the oxygen atom of OH group of phenol gets what, sir? Hello? Are we very clear about it? Question number 44. So, the compound obtained by heating salicylic acid with phenol in presence of phosphorus oxychloride. Salicylic acid has a OH group and a COOH group. When you are heating any acid with alcohol and acid together react to give ester. So you are getting an ester of salicylic acid with phenol. These phenolic esters of salicylic acid are called as salols. The salols are present in zindatil ismat. I want to show you that reaction. Kindly observe the reaction, sir. It is very, very important. This is a way to prepare your zindatil ismat. It is your phenol. It is your salicylic acid, COOH and OH. Sir, in the salicylic acid, this carboxylic acid, and in the phenol, this OH group would interact in presence of a catalyst, maybe POCl3. Any catalyst, you can use an acid as a catalyst, you can use a base as a catalyst. The alcohol group H plus and the carboxylic acid OH minus will be lost as water. Therefore, if you remove this H on the benzene, you are left with O. And if you are removing OH here, you have CO. Here there is OH. This type of compound is called salol. The salols are phenyl esters of salicylic acid. They are used to relieve body aches, headache, cholera, dysentery, so on. They are naturally present in the bark of certain trees called Cinchona officinalis, jamoil tree. The leaves of jamoil tree also have this. So they are naturally taken from the leaves, or they can be artificially made, and that is used in the manufacture of your zindatil ismat. Zindatil ismat is a salol. Sir, have you noticed phenol is reacting with salicylic acid? Here the COOH group of salicylic acid is esterified. Let me look at this. The salicylic acid has a COOH group, OH group. If you are using the COOH to esterify, you will be getting salol. But notice that you can also esterify the OH group. In order to esterify the OH group, you have to take a carboxylic acid, maybe benzoic acid, or maybe acetic acid, any damn acid. If this acid and if the salicylic acid are combining, then the OH part will be esterified. Then you will be getting a ester like this. COOH is intact. Here it will become OCOCH3. This is called acetyl salicylic acid, in the market sold as aspirin. Whenever somebody gets heart attack, if you give a tablet of aspirin, he gets immediate relief. Heart attack medicine is acetyl salicylic acid. Acetyl salicylic acid is made by reaction of acetic acid with salicylic acid. Salicylic acid itself is made, this is salicylic acid. It is made starting with phenol. What is the name of reaction, sir? Hello? How can you get this, sir? You have to take CCl4 and NaOH. What is the name of this reaction? Reimer Tiemann type reaction. Sir, instead of CCl3, if you use chloroform, you get salicylaldehyde. If you take CCl4, you will be getting salicylic. The other way is Kolb reaction. In Kolb reaction, you are using carbon dioxide and NaOH under high pressure. After carbon dioxide and NaOH, you treat with acidified water. So one can make salicylic acid starting with phenol, either using Kolb reaction or by using the Reimer-Tiemann type of reaction. Salicylic acid is very, very important compound which is present in Jalim lotion. Jalim lotion is used to treat ringworm in secret places, but it gives a lot of burning sensation. Okay, so that's a note on that. Okay, sir. Now we are going to look at some more questions. I know you are under a bit pressure. I know that you have to prepare for IPE exam as well. Everything is clear, but still we see one or two questions before we close our journey today. Okay, sir? Yes. Are you seeing my screen, sir? Okay, sir. The compound obtained by heating salicylic acid with phenol is called Celal. In fact, there is a small issue. The salols are originally present in oil of wintergreen, which is known as jam oil. I think we have covered 30 questions. Yep. Sir, I want to give you homework. Please take this book. Hello. Please take this book. Try to read fully. Okay? If you do this book fully, and if you have attended to my discussion, the questions, object to questions I discussed, and if you also have read the textbook, you will get 100% score. Okay, sir? All of you, if you want, you can take screenshots of this. I will be displaying once again. If you want, you can take screenshots. If you don't have this book. Do you have this book, sir? Hello? Do you have this book?
Yes.
Did I share this book with you? Hello? Then I want you to take screenshot of previous thing. This material, if you want, I can't send it, you can take screenshot. These are all previous IIT questions. Next, we are going to next sheet. Another set of previous IIT questions. Okay. No, this is not. This is H2O. Yep. You can take screenshot of this. This is question number 17 to question number 26. Some Sarvajna group has sent it to me. In fact, they want me to take class. I don't want to take their class. Weird, okay, this not. So anyway, these are some ideas. Always feel free to keep yourself posted with any doubts you have. And tomorrow we are going to start a new topic. The new topic is, sir, should we go to organic or inorganic or physical? What do you want tomorrow? Hello? Hello? Hello, are you able to hear me? Are you there, by the way? Sir, tell me, tomorrow what should we start? Only 44 students are there out of 60, 70. So many are missing. Hello? Inorganic deblocker. Okay, we will see. First, alcohols and halogen derivatives, we have to revise once tomorrow. Then Monday we start, or Tuesday we start inorganic. Now I am closing this session because I know that you have to prepare for IP and all. Okay? No, Monday I will not take your class. Tuesday I will take. Or you want me to take Monday paper discussion means tomorrow I will not take. What do you want? So tomorrow you don't want? Let me see whether it's possible like that. Okay? Okay, then that's a deal. Bye. Bye. Hello? Sir, should we close tomorrow? You don't know. Some student called me and he says tomorrow let there be no class. Monday there will be class like that. All of you vote for that? Hello? You don't want class tomorrow? Okay, that's fine. Good luck. Now I'm closing. I'll see. If need, I'll put a class. I'll send you a notation. I think it all. Bye.